Hi Libra, this is your horoscope for September 2017. Thanks for joining me. It's really nice to be with you. It is Mercury retrograde, so I'm changing the formats of pretty much all my videos. It's not something I've deliberately chosen to do. It's just I felt I should do things differently. So let me know if you prefer this or if you prefer the old way of doing the horoscopes. Also let me know if you prefer to have a chart to look at or if you want the videos to be really short or really long. I make these for you. So if you're not enjoying them, then tell me what I can do to get you to enjoy them, okay? That's the only reason I make these videos. So if you're not able to enjoy them, then tell me how to improve. Now, in September, Uranus, the planet of rebellion and eccentricity, forms a positive trine with Mars, which is the archetypal male principle. And they form this wonderful relationship until the 11th of September in your 7th and 11th houses. So Uranus, the rebel, is in your 7th house. So when it comes to relationships, you're really going to want to get things going in the way you see fit. And then Mars is in your 11th, so you want to realize your hopes and dreams, especially when it comes to your relationships. So you have an expectation, Libra, that the first 11 days of September, that other people ought to be there for you, that you want to connect, that you want to feel passion and desire. Just remember, the higher our expectations are, the more potential for disappointment. So worry about those things that you can control, but when it comes to love and romance, you can put yourself out there, you can try, but it's out of your control. Whether you meet the right person or not, that's not in your control, is it? And that's why people often say, oh, you'll find the right person when you stop looking, or other people meet their partners at speed dating. You know, we have no control over this. That's what I'm saying. So don't raise your expectations so high that the love of your life is going to appear on the 3rd of September, because you may be disappointed. So try and keep those desires in check. Mercury moves into Leo from Virgo on the 1st of September. Because it's retrograding backwards into Leo, and that's in your 11th house as well. You're going to be so focused on bringing fire and life to your hopes and dreams. But Mercury is in retrograde, so don't make huge life changes, because what seems like the biggest desire and the biggest hope in your life right now may not be the biggest desire after Mercury goes direct. You don't know. So don't make huge changes until the 5th of September when Mercury does go direct. Venus is in Leo until the 20th in your 11th house, and then it moves into Virgo in your 12th. So you've got Mars, the male principle, and Venus, the female principle, both of them in your 11th house of hopes and dreams. And when you put the male and female together, you get new life. Okay? So you're really, really focused on realizing your hopes and dreams in your life, especially when it comes to relationships, and that is what your main focus is. So I've told you to manage the expectations, but what I would also suggest is that you do take some action on this. If no one knows you exist, you can't meet someone, right? You also don't have full control over it, but that's okay. As long as you put yourself out there in September, it's really likely that before the 20th, you will have some sort of wonderful, romantic, positive experience, whether you're single or in a relationship, or regardless of your circumstances, love is in the air for you, Libra. When Venus moves into Virgo in your 12th, on the 20th, you become far more interested in listening and learning to spiritual information. So there's a big change here. So up until the 20th, you're all about making your passions and desires when it comes to other people true and to realize those. And then from the 20th onwards, you put that aside a little bit and you start to focus on your relationship with the power greater than yourself, to develop that or to begin it if you haven't ever had that relationship with something greater than yourself. So it's a wonderful time for you from the 20th onward to do spiritual work and to make loads of progress there. On the 5th of September, Mercury goes direct in your 11th house in Leo. So the communication planet is now all fired up. Also in your 11th house, you will really communicate about what it is you want. And if you ask, you usually get. So that's very good. On the 6th of September, we've got the full moon happening in Pisces, and that happens in your 6th house. So the full moon, I'll make separate videos on the full moon and the new moon because they can be quite complicated and I'll go into more detail. But for you, Libra, it happens in your 6th house, which is work and day-to-day routine. So the full moon is going to shower us with this Pisces energy. And because it's in your 6th house, you're going to feel very much like everything's okay in my life. My routine is okay and my body is okay and I feel at peace. So you can really use this full moon on the 6th as a time of tranquility and peace. Also on the 6th, Mars moves into Virgo and it goes into your 12th house. So Mars moves into your 12th first, Venus joins it later, but the big thing here for you Libras is spiritual strength and spiritual growth and spiritual development here later on in the month. So you're focusing on, it's interesting, it's all about relationships. The beginning of the month it's romantic human relationships and later on it's spiritual relationships. Why not focus on both? That's what my suggestion to you is. The thing, if you've watched this channel, if you know me at all, or if this is your first time watching me, then I have to explain a little bit about me. When it comes to relationships, I am certainly not healed. That's the one area of my life that isn't healed. But what I am learning, and I'm learning about this as well, is that when you feel totally empty inside and you feel desperate for a relationship, you meet someone new, that desperate energy and that desperation, it squeezes the life and fun out of a situation, okay? And it just sets you up to fail. I've been there, can hold my hand up. But the more you do for yourself, and you do have control of your own life, the more you do for yourself, building a relationship with yourself that's truly loving. This morning I found out that Louise Hay passed away, which really, Louise Hay changed my life. She wrote a book called You Can Heal Your Life. And her message was always forgive yourself for everything that you think you've done or that's happened in your life and love yourself and do positive affirmations and things like that. So I just want to pay my respects to Louise Hay really for changing my life. But also for you guys, what I'm talking about here with all this spiritual strength that's going on is that you really have the ability to change how you feel about yourself and the relationship you have with yourself, and you can create a relationship with yourself, with a higher power, with a pet, with activities. And the more relationships you have in your life, the easier it becomes to form a relationship with another person. You know, there's a reason why there are sayings like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because what you don't need and what naturally, organically you allow to flow, more of that is going to come into your life. So don't approach relationships from I'm empty, I need to be filled. Approach it from I'm full and I'm ready to give. And I'm going to take that advice for myself. Wish me luck. Okay, so on the 11th of September, Mercury goes into Virgo in your 12th house. So the communication planet is in the sign that it rules in your 12th. So you become utterly, completely teachable about yourself, about spirituality. And it's a great time to open up and to form a relationship with a higher power. And on the 20th, the new moon occurs in Virgo in your 12th house. So the new moon pulls energy in, so even more Virgo energy is being pulled into your 12th house now. So when it comes to understanding relationships in a spiritual sense, you're going to be the expert. And that's why I'm telling you to focus on developing spiritual relationships, all types of relationships this month, because that will really help you to achieve what you want on the physical world. In my experience, and it sounds counterproductive, in my experience, when I turn my back on the world and when I focus on spirituality, then the world starts to work for me. When I focus on the world and I try and manage it, that's when things go belly up. On the 30th of September, Mercury moves into your sign of Libra in your first house. So your birthday's coming up. You're moving into October feeling really now at peace with yourself, and you make huge progress in terms of personal transformation this month. Spiritually, you become much stronger, and you just slide on into October happy, at peace, comfortable in your own skin. and you're focused on relationship with yourself, with other people in a positive way, moving into October, and that's so liberating. So I hope you have a great month. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. And what I do in my readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. So I can draw up your birth chart by using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, I can use sunrise, or I can rectify the chart to find out when you were born. That's a separate process. And that's a blueprint of your soul. I can show you what your life mission is, what your vocational aptitudes are, strengths, weaknesses. Using the predictive astrology, we can look at what's coming up in future via your career, finances, love life, health, anything. We can even use the astrocartography to look at what areas are best for you to live. So if you're interested in that, please visit the website and order a reading with me. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll speak to you when it's your birthday in October.